Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. It is baking hot today and I'm just about to go out and enjoy this lovely heat. But I wanted to drop a video as usual, and the subject today is around perfection. And it is something that I talk about a lot because I didn't realize it was something that was crippling me for a long time. Not as people have it, not as in, oh, I've got to be perfect, but rather that things had to be right before I made a move and followed my dream. So I guess in that way, I knew there was aspects of me that were critical. And I think that's the one thing that I will say around perfection. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, whether it's in your head or it's in the things that you do, or sometimes feedback from other people, it's really important to take notice of that, because I always strongly believe that the world is always speaking to us, but we don't pay attention because we are too busy being sort of rooted in the things that are linear sort of way of thinking, that unless somebody tells it to me, I'm not hearing it. And in fact, you've got to be open to people really speaking to you in the first place. But let's just go back to the topic and what I mean by perfection. I mean, especially in the sense that you don't like doing things unless they feel right, or unless your ducks are aligned. We hear a lot about the perfect body. There isn't one. I mean, I think maths teaches quite well when we're talking about pi, about how not even the circle is perfect, because we're constantly moving at any one time. So even when we think we're still, actually we're not, because the world is constantly moving. And understanding that really helped me in terms of trying to get things right. Now, it doesn't mean that I am over it, because let's talk about it. I started this YouTube channel probably 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, but I didn't actually start posting videos until last year, November. Why did it take me so long? Because I thought I had to have things perfect. I had to have the perfect venue for recording. I had to have the perfect equipment. I had to have the perfect knowledge and the right wisdom to be able to deliver to people what they want. But number one, people are never going to be happy with what you do anyway. So do it anyway. Luckily for me, I've not had a lot of criticism on this channel. It's been really positive feedback and I appreciate that. So keep doing it. But you've got to get over any challenges you might have personally. So don't wait for perfection, because there's no such thing. Do it afraid. I think sometimes, especially in my arena and in my perspective and in my own life, perfection showed up in the form of wanting to constantly make sure that whatever I do is received well. We all know that there's always going to be one person that's not happy with what you do. So, and I think it stemmed a lot from our childhood. Again, none of our parents are perfect. I get that. Mine certainly weren't. And I know I certainly am not a perfect parent. But that sometimes can be said in a way that it's really harmful for a child. So for example, for me, I heard a lot of things like, why can't you get things right? Why can't you get it right the first time? Which child does it? Which 7-year-old or 5-year-old or 10-year-old or even a teenager do you know that get things right the first time? Nobody does that. So when our parents say things like that, they can be quite damaging and long term, because we don't give ourselves an opportunity to learn, because that's what learning is. Learning is about putting ourselves out there when we don't have the information, because we want to get it right. And invariably, that means that we will fail. I mean, if you've ever been in a cooking class, it is, especially when you're watching it on YouTube, you think, oh, I can definitely do that. I can make a wicked pancake, until you try it yourself and you think, why is it sticking in the pan? Why doesn't it look like the one in the picture, or the person who is, doing it on YouTube? Because you have to fail enough times to get it right. And the learning sometimes is in the failure. When you understand that actually not putting oil is what got me the sticky pancake to begin with. So I'm not going to be afraid, or I'm not going to label myself a failure simply because the first pancake I attempted didn't come out right. So we have to give ourselves really a lot of grace to learn that we are learning. It's okay to fail. That's the language I keep talking to myself. Those are the affirmations I speak to myself. It's okay, Joyce. You don't have to have it right. Nobody has it right. And if they're telling you they've got it right, they are lying to you. I mean, there's no perfect body. There's no perfect man or woman. There's no perfect house, and there's no perfect child. Now, there's the one that's perfect for you. Is it the house that's perfect for you? There is a child that is perfect for you. And once you understand that, you give people room to mess up. You give people room to grow. You give people room to be themselves and to explore this wonderful, wonderful world. And the last thing I will say is perfection can be a sign that you don't really trust yourself. And so if you're there right now, use it as a chance to learn to trust yourself. It is the most beautiful gift you'll ever give to yourself, because you are walking this world by yourself and you're learning to see things excuse me, you're learning to see things with your own eyes and interpreting that to align itself with your belief system. And you have to give yourself grace to know that you will not get it right. You will make plenty of mistakes, and it is okay, because we are here to learn. I hope that's been helpful. Go and explore your world, give yourself grace, and remember this: no one is perfect. If they're telling you they are lying to you, and you need to just leave them alone, because they are definitely in denial. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take good care.